All right, Miss Aurorah is back. Secured Entrepreneurs. You see the title. This past weekend, KJ sends me this post. I believe it was from Instagram. So, of course, Miss Aurorah goes searching. I always wonder how it is that certain people find themselves so ill-advised. Now, all of the secured entrepreneurs here know that the will is a trick. The will is a no. You will not have one. This situation with the king of pop, Michael Jackson, he had a will. Now he's got the 3 children and the mother who cares for the children, right? The 3 children and the mother are no longer able to receive payments from 2 trusts. There's clearly a primary trust for the 3 children and then a trust for the mother. But they are unable to collect any monies simply because the estate, which is run by 2 executors, is stated to owe federal estate tax. Now you have to wonder how that came to be. Federal estate tax of $700 million. How did that happen? And until this debt is sorted, the beneficiaries will not be able to get any money. There are so many strong lessons. There are so many strong lessons in this. However, in this video, Ms. Aurorah is going to get into exactly how this thing happened and how it will never happen to a secured entrepreneur. It will never happen to an entrepreneur who understands the value of protecting their estate. Can we do it? All right. For those of you who do not know who I am Miss Aurorah Dey, and I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you create 6- and 7-figure businesses tax-free. And we all know that this is the secured entrepreneur movement. Okay, here we go, secured entrepreneurs. Michael Jackson's trust money reportedly withheld from children and mother until IRS dispute is settled. Per legal documents, the executors under MJ's will turned down a request from attorneys to allow a portion of the estate to remain subject to administration. So, of course, when Ms. Aurorah reads this sentence, you want to start thinking something's not right there, but we have to be careful what we say, okay? But it just sounds like, something strange. So here are the 3 children. Now, they're adults, they're grown. But do you think they're going to work at McDonald's? They want their money. Okay? I don't know what any of these children are doing, and we can't expect Catherine to go out there and do anything at 90-something years old. Like, get out of here. Like, these people need their money, okay? Michael Jackson's 3 children and his mother, Catherine, reportedly can't get money from the late pop star's estate until a dispute with the IRS has been settled. Per court documents seen by People and ET Online, MJ's 3 children, 27-year-old Prince, so he's more than grown. He's almost 30 years old. I'd like to know what he does, does he provide for himself? Does he take care of himself? Has he started a business? I'm curious to find out what he's doing. 25-year-old Paris. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she has a business. I don't know what she's doing for herself. And 22-year-old BG. I don't know. I think that's Blanket. Isn't that Blanket? Okay. But they're grown. Okay. And their grandmother cannot receive money from the executors of his estate and ongoing legal disputes. The 3 are beneficiaries of MJ's trust, while Catherine is a beneficiary of a sub-trust. So right away you see that somebody willfully created a semi-complicated system that started with the farce of a will. Okay, so it's a big money grab as far as Ms. Aurorah is concerned. I'm not saying that this is what the situation is here. I'm reading into it that we would never do that here. Point blank. Nothing's going to start with a will because we already know this is what's going to happen to you. Okay. The executors under his will, John Bronca and John McClain. So we got JJ cutting the fool. All right. have turned down a request from attorneys to allow a portion of the estate to remain subject to administration because they can't possibly determine what amount could be safely distributed at this time. Now, you have to imagine, if there's a debt of $700 million, how much money is in the estate? How much money is in the estate that you can't possibly determine what amount could be safely distributed at this time? All right, this is serious now. We got a serious battle going on, and we're about to find out, what happened. When the IRS audited the federal estate tax return, it found that the estate undervalued its assets and owed an estimated $700 million in taxes and penalties. Okay. Now, I'm a little confused about the penalties here simply because what we're going to read next, and I'll get into it. The estate disputed the IRS findings in 2021 and won its case in tax court that same year. But the estate has since filed a motion for reconsideration regarding the value of MJ's music catalog, MeJack, which Sony purchased a portion of in February. Now, I was like, okay, was that February of 2024? Like, what year was that? Somebody tell Miss Aurorah. Does anybody know? For at least $600 million. Pump the brakes. So we read this. There was a sale for $600 million. And we know that the estate is still making money today. So we know, there's still income for the estate. They have sold a portion of the man's catalog for $600 million. They are asking for this thing to be revalued so that we could get a handle on this tax bill that you are saying that we owe. And they probably are trying to say, we don't owe these penalties. Like, what's going on here? Okay. The request is still pending, which means the value of the estate hasn't been finalized. So they're saying we can't give out any money because we don't really know what's going to be safe at this time, because we still don't have an accurate value for the estate to now resume our regularly scheduled payments. Okay. The executor said that 20% of the estate, as valued for federal estate tax purposes, is to be distributed to charity before the remaining assets of the estate can be distributed to sub-trusts, plural, indicating that there's more than one. Before that money can be donated to charity, a resolution of the dispute is needed. The family will still be provided for through the family allowance, however. So we see that there's so much, that there's an allowance. So again, I'm going back to, it's a possibility that the children are not really, this is how we live. Okay. Can't be mad at it. But guess what? We want our money. We want a portion of the estate to remain administered so we can get our money. Like, what's going on? Okay. In annual reports provided to the probate court, this is a sad, sick shame, which are publicly available, anyone can see that the estate provides Michael's mother and children with very substantial amounts of money to support them. I was too shy to go look. I'm telling the secured entrepreneurs, I said, okay, you can't convince me that they're in need. I don't think that they're in need of the money, but what's right is right. And what's ours needs to come to us is what's going on. Because they're provided for. All right. The estate has a very cooperative relationship with Michael's children. Listen to that language. Listen to the language. The estate, this their father's estate, has a very cooperative relationship with Michael's children. And whenever they need anything, the estate works with them. This is their father's estate. This is their father's assets. Like, secured entrepreneurs, comment below. To ensure that they are very well taken care of, just as Michael would have wanted. Okay, secured entrepreneurs. Let me come in the middle of this because listen, okay. Okay. Let me make some adjustments because I got this little ring light that y'all know I hijacked from KJ and it's in my eyeballs. So let me just, all right. I'm about to show all of our visiting entrepreneurs a slide of how we create our trusts, okay? And I'm not gonna make this long because I really, people just really need to start checking out the training so they can see how you're going to prevent this from happening, all right? Here's the reality. The will only land you in probate. And if you have a sizable estate, like Michael Jackson's estate, that will continue to earn income because he has assets that will remain on this planet. They are very valuable. One being his voice. Two being his image. Three being his music. I mean, I'm sure the list can go on, but I'm going with top three. Had Michael Jackson entrusted his estate, this would not be happening. Had Michael Jackson had no registered will on record, this would not be happening. This will never happen to a secured entrepreneur. And I'm going to show everyone a slide right now and get into how it is you're going to protect your estate from having to go through any of this when you're gone. Just that whole, whenever Michael's children need anything, the estate works with them. The estate has a very good relationship with the children. I mean, what does that sound like to you, secured entrepreneurs? All right, let's get into the trust and how you're going to make this thing happen for yourself so that this is not going on with your mother and your children. All right, so all of these secured entrepreneurs know that this is a miniature wealth cycle that starts with an irrevocable trust. Now, why does this wealth cycle start with an irrevocable trust? Well, the irrevocable trust is the only trust entity that actually is coming with tax advantages. And you all know that Ms. Aurorah has many videos on the channel discussing trusts that will protect your estate so that you can legally avoid federal estate tax, okay? So in this wealth cycle, what I'm sharing with you all is that had Michael Jackson's estate started with a trust and not the will, we would not be having a discussion about federal estate tax, because in this scenario, there would be no federal estate tax, okay? So some people, they're going to layer it. They're going to have an asset management trust. They're going to have a family trust. They may have a religious trust, okay? They will probably have several trusts. Now, most of the secured entrepreneurs who come on board here, we have a lot of clients who are on their third family, okay? We have a lot of clients on their second family. We have a lot of clients who actually have adopted children, okay? We have a lot of clients who have a lot of assets in different states and in different countries, okay? So we pretty much put together a very unique and elaborate estate plan so that we know who is in control, who are the trustees, who are the beneficiaries, what is the deal, what are the instructions, what is the trustee supposed to be doing while I'm alive, what is the trustee supposed to be doing when I'm no longer alive, okay? Who are the successor trustees in this situation? Like, all of that is worked out, okay? And a majority of clients will not choose someone that they don't know. Now, we have had people that have chosen a bank. That is the truth. We have had clients who said they trust a bank to act as the trustee of their estate before they would trust anybody that they're blood related to. We all understand that. We get that, right? So in this scenario, because the trust does not act in public the way an LLC or corporation would, you don't want to have any type of debit cards attached to any of these accounts. You're definitely not going to have a credit card, okay? Because the trust is here to grow wealth, protect the assets, So you're going to be banking, and many of us, we know we're going to have our, portfolios attached to one of these trusts. We're going to actually have brokerage accounts for these trusts because the trust is here to make money. So whatever the income producing assets are of the trust, that's what we have an interest in. Now we know that what has to happen is when the income comes into the trust bank account, one of two things have to happen. Either if the trust holds on to the income for the year, the trustee would have the responsibility of filing a 1041 and paying tax on the income. However, we don't know too many people who actually would want that to happen. So we're going to make sure that there is a beneficiary payout. Okay. So the beneficiary could be another trust. Remember, this is a tax-free wealth cycle. It could be another irrevocable trust. It could be an anonymous LLC. It could be an individual. Now we know the exemptions that are going on right now that allows a beneficiary of a trust to receive tax-free gifts. So that's on the table. And we're waiting to see if the amount is going to change for individuals and married couples in 2025. We don't know too many people who would desire a change, okay? So people like it the way it is. We know that we want to be a beneficiary so that we can catch a tax-free payout. Why not, right? So to avoid what we are reading about as it relates to Michael Jackson's estate, you want to make sure that if you have any valuable assets, your home, your business, okay, anything of value that you want your loved ones, your children to have, and you don't want them to get caught up in having to pay federal estate tax. And depending on what state you live in, there could also be a state estate tax. It's very real, all right? Having your estate entrusted into an irrevocable trust will allow you to legally avoid a plethora of things that many of us have experienced go on. When in fact, either your loved one does not have a will, or if they actually do have a will, it's like a fight to the finish. And here in the Secured Entrepreneur Movement, we lay all of that to rest. We don't get into that, okay? So this is how you're going to avoid a situation like this thing that's happening with Michael Jackson's estate. All right, there you have it, Secured Entrepreneurs. If you know that you want to protect your estate, and you now understand the severity of what it is that can happen when your estate is not protected, when you know that you got people that you want to look out for after you're gone, I want you to go down in the description box, click the link for the Sole Proprietor to CEO program. Okay? That's all I want to say about this. You all know you can find me, Miss Aurorah Dey, at AurorahDayConsulting.com. And until next time, ta-ta.